Good morning, students. Why today strength is less? Yes, students, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, Students, I think 2 3 days back you had a discussion with HOD. Some of the students expressed they have some doubts in some of the topics. Correct, no? So now I want to, in general, I want to discuss some of the topics. Yes, students. Before I start discussing or before I start, one thing I want to tell you that see, students, whatever the doubts you have, you suppose in today's class or in whatever the program I explain, if you have any doubts, then and there you ask students. Don't carry forward your doubts. Okay, whatever the doubts you have, you ask me. It is not necessary that HOD should conduct meeting and after informing to sir, and you should sir should tell me that few of the students have some 4 or 5 students have doubt in some of the topics. Okay, fine. So if I do revision, it will be helpful for all the students. See, students, one thing in HTML, uh, what using HTML, what we can do is you are developing a web page. Correct, no? So you are developing a web page. So when you see a web page, whatever the web page, whatever the websites you see, so there will be two types of web pages, students. One is static and the other one is dynamic. Correct, no? One is static and the other one is dynamic. So what is the difference between static and dynamic? So in static, the data will be same. The data will not change. Whereas in dynamic, it is a interactive web page. The data will keep changing. The data will keep changing. So using the course objective, the COs at the beginning of a syllabus or class semester only. I have discussed in the first class only. After learning this subject, what you are able to do. Few of the students, I think more than 50% students have already studied this subject in their BCA or BSc. Few of the students they have studied. I think very less students are known to this subject. Okay, no problem. But first, when you don't know what is HTML, so after completion of this course, you will be able to develop a static and dynamic web pages. Yes, to develop that, we are going to learn the concepts like basics of HTML, HTML tags, JavaScript, CSS, jQuery, DOM, AngularJS. So all those things you are going to study. So once you learn that, so you are able to execute or you are able to develop a web pages, dynamic as well as static. So here students, so I will show you the first lab program. Why I want to show the first lab program is in the first lab program only many of the things we are going to learn. So many of the things we are putting in the first lab program. I forgot the program number. Wait, students, I forgot the program number. By what program name? By which name I have said the program? So see here, this is the first program, students. In first program, we are going to implement many of the concepts. We are going to implement many of the concepts. So this you can say as a static page. Is anything is changing here, students? Anything is changing?
No, ma'am.
So nothing is changing. So
No, ma'am.
here, using this concept, using the basic tags, we are developing a static web page. Static web page. So what are the concepts we are using, students? That is a bold. This is bold tag, or this is um, header tag. This is h1 tag. This is a paragraph tag. This is paragraph tag. This is italic with underline tag, this is mark tag, this is center tag, and this is hyperlink tag, this is image tag, and this is table tag, this is this line horizontal role tag. So all these concepts we are using. So I'll go to the code. Yes, students, see here, when you in HTML, we have some of the predefined tags, that is h1 to h6 tags are there. So these tags are used to write the headings. So here in this, the size of the font size of a heading is already defined. You can change also. You can change also. How you can change is in the style tag. You can change it in the style tag. You can change it, but the predefined tags are h1, h2, h3. So gradually from h1 to h6, the font size is decreasing. From h1 to h6, the font size is decreasing gradually. H1 to H6, the font size is gradually decreasing. See here this is a this welcome to BMSIT. This concept, this line I have written using H1 tag. Now what I do, the same tag, the same line I will write using H2 tag, so that you will understand the difference between H1 and H2. And these are all the header tags, and here the p tag. So whatever the, why we write p tag, students, why we write p tags, why we write to p tag is, see here, now this some data I have written, some lines I have written about the attack, about network security I have written. I told you before only, just some I copied and pasted this information. But when you are writing a first program, when you are executing a first program, this program is related to your department, so give some information, related information about your department. You just don't copy and paste some other data. See, students, I'm removing this p tag. I'm removing this p tag. So before, see, with the p tag, the output was like this. With the p tag, the output was like this. Now I have removed the p tag. I have not saved. Every time you need to save the program. So that's why that h1, h2, h3 tag output is also not coming. Yes, students, can see here how see how the data is displaying now, how the data is, this paragraph p tag is displaying now. And now when I include the p tag, how it will display. Students, while when you are executing a program, every time whatever the changes you do in your program, every time you just save the program and refresh the page. Save the program and refresh the page, so that you will come to know what are the changes are happening in the program. Yes. So here the three tags I have included, H1, H2, H3. These three, the same data with a different font size. So gradually it is decreasing now, students. Yes, students. Gradually it is decreasing. Actually, without using p tag and with using p tag, it is not affecting in the output. Yes, students, if I don't use a p tag, what happens? Yes, anybody? To display this data, if I don't use p tag, what happens? Nothing will happen. Yes, students, this p tag. So sometimes what happens, now it is displaying in a paragraph, it will display in the same line. It is display in a same line. So what are the other tags we have here is this is hyperlink tag. This is syntax to use a hyperlink tag, that is a href is equal to the, here we give the link, and this is a text where you can see in the web page where the link will be visible. See, like this, you can see here. See this, where the hand symbol will display, the hand symbol will appear. So whatever the text you are giving, so that will be displayed with a underline. So this will be the link with the hand symbol on this. If you put a mouse cursor, a hand symbol, it will display. And when you click on the click on that link, when you click on that link, it will be the current page will be redirected to the path, this source, whatever the source you have given, to that path it will redirect. And this is the image tag. Here you can modify the size of an image tag. And this is the table tag. So table tag, students, you can give you can display the data in row wise and column wise. So displaying the data in row wise and column wise is nothing but a table of a data. So here in table you can also specify the space between the first the space between the content and the border, the space between the content and the border. Here we are displaying the table. So this is the table tag, and the border also you can specify the table tag. And in the table tag, the contents are left not only in the table tag, in the web page, students, when you display any content, it will be left aligned. It will be by default, it will be left aligned. You can change the alignment of the content, that is by using the this center. If you use this align is equal to center, then the content will be displayed in the center. See, the content will be displayed in the center. Everywhere in each field, in each column, the data is displayed in the center. See here, so table heading, and this is a row span. See, the product details is spanned for column span for first column, second column, third column, and fourth column. So to get this, we have to write a code like this. See here, table header, column span, 4 for 4 column. We have spanned, the text alignment is center, and the data is product details. The data is product details. So like this you can do. Yes, one more thing, students. Here in HTML, we have a concept called cascading style sheet or CSS. CSS full form is cascading style sheet. So this CSS is used to give a different effect or different style to the pages, different style to the web pages. So when you are using the CSS, we use within the style tag. We use with the style tag. So for the CSS, there are to implement the CSS or to implement the cascading style sheet, there are three ways. There are three ways. That is, one is a inline style sheet, document level style sheet, and the external style sheet. Inline style sheet, we write within the line only. So we write within the body tag to whatever the text or to whatever the content you want to give any style. So we specify the style, that is inline style sheet. So document level style sheet is before the body tag. In the head tag we use a style tag, and there we specify some of the properties. We specify some of the properties, that is nothing but a document level style sheet. And the third style sheet and the last style sheet, external style sheet. In the different file, we define some of the styles, and we name or we save that file with a .css extension, and we call that CSS file in the program. We call that CSS file in the program. So see here, students. So in this program, this is this we are going to do in the lab program 2. In lab program 2, we are going to do this. And see here, this is the style tag. If you see this program, if you observe this program clearly, 2 times I have used the style tag. Yes. 2 times I have used the style tag. Manish is here. Manish. Manish, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
So here, students, 2 times I have used a style tag. This is here within the head tag and inside the body tag. So inside the body tag, what I have written and for what I have used this style tag is, see, for H3 tag, I am using this style tag, that is color is blue, border padding is 100 pixel, Border style is dotted and width is 100 pixel and the content is this is blue heading for inline CSS. Yes, students, this is a inline style sheet. This is the inline style sheet. See here, this is a blue heading for inline style sheet. So this is, see the you can see the space between the content and border is more here. The space between the content and border is more here. Why? Because here I have given the padding value 100 pixel. Now I will change the padding value to 50 pixel. I'll change the padding value to 50 pixel. Now this space should reduce, students, the space between this and the content and the dotted line. Yes, it is changed now. It is changed. So this is one way of implementing CSS, that is inline style sheet. This is inline style sheet. And the next method is the document level style sheet. The document level style sheet will be implemented in the head tag. In the head tag, before the body tag, we use a style tag here. So style type is equal to text/CSS. Here, which type of selector it is, students? Simple selector. This is a simple selector. So H1 for H1 tag, H6 tag, and for unordered list. I told you that many of the examples I have used H1 tags only for giving a style. I told that not only for the heading tags, you can also use this style for other tags also, like table tag, ordered list, unordered list. For all the concepts, you can use this CSS. You can use this CSS. So see, these are nothing but the properties. Yes, students, this color, the border, and the padding value, the width value, the height value, whatever we are specifying, that is nothing but the properties. See, H1 color green, H6 color green, or unordered list, the color means what? Color means the font color red. So here I am defining see, generally students, the content color will be black. The content color will be black. You can modify, you can change. How you can change? Using this style tag, using this CSS. Here the content color I am changing to green. H6 is also green, and unordered list to red. See here, this is H2 tag. This is H1 tag, H6 tag. This is H6 tag here. H6. This is H1. This is H6, and the unordered list color red. Yes, students, you are observing the output. Unordered list color is red. So this is document level style sheet. So one more, the last method and the third method is external style sheet. So external style sheet will be the properties will be defined in a different file, and that file we save with a .css extension, and we are going to call that function, that file in the program. See here in the hyperlink tag, phi.css. Phi.css. So what is phi.css is? See here. the color, yellow color, the border padding 20 pixel, border style dotted. Yes, student, these are nothing but the CSS properties. These are nothing but the properties we are defining. So for which tag, students? For H6 tag. For H6 tag. For H6 tag, these are all the properties we are defining. See here, the color is yellow, so that even the border color and the text color is yellow, and it is dotted. It is dotted, and the padding is 20 pixel. Padding is 20 pixel. CSS property module 1 and 2. JavaScript concepts. Okay. Yes, students. So next we have is a JavaScript concept. So this JavaScript is mainly to develop a dynamic web page. Yes, students, we have seen that in the JavaScript, we are using these screen outputs dialog boxes. That is, the first screen output statement is document.write. Yes, students, the first screen output statement is in JavaScript is document.write. What is this document.write? This is an output statement. This is a screen output statement. So in this document.write line, whatever the statements we write, that will be displayed on the web page as a output. Correct? So that will be displayed on the web page as a output. See here answer, result. So the result will be the answer will be displayed on the web page. So this is the statement line. So along with this, we have other three windows, that is alert window, confirm window, and prompt. Alert, confirm, and prompt. See, students, why see whatever once you it in first program, what was happening? Just it was displaying the content. It may be in the table form, or it may be in the bold form, italic form, paragraph form. But if you use a JavaScript concept, here we have alert box, confirm, and prompt. So here the input will be taken from the user. The dynamic page is nothing but it is a user interactive page. It is a user interactive page. So three important output windows we have in JavaScript, that is alert, confirm, and prompt. In alert, what is happening? Once it displays the output, it displays the output, or it displays some message, and you have to click on the OK button. It opens a dialog box with a single button, that is OK button. When you click on the OK button, then that screen will be closed. That screen will be closed. See here, alert, the sum is, so here it is showing the sum, and the sample output the sample output, you can see, students, the sum is 42. When you click on the OK button, the window will be closed. The window will be closed. And we have a second output screen window, that is confirm. Here the confirm button is used to take a confirmation from the user, whether you want to save or not, whether you want to download or not. Yes, when you are downloading, you'll see this window. When you are saving, you'll see this. So when you download some data, so it will display the confirm message, confirm window with two buttons. With two buttons, one is OK and the other one is cancel. So these two buttons returns a boolean value. When you click on OK button, it takes a boolean value 1 or true. When you click on the cancel button, it takes a boolean value 0 or false. So it waits. This confirm window will wait till until you give the input. It waits until you give the input. Your input may be OK or your input may be cancel. If you click on OK, then downloading will be continued. If you click on cancel, then downloading will be cancel. And the prompt. Generally, this prompt we take a input from the user. To take a input from the user, we use this prompt. Here, a prompt will be having a text box or the text area or a text box with the two buttons, OK button and cancel button. So when you click on the OK button, the data will be taken for the processing, and when you click on the cancel button, then the window will be closed. Here also it will wait, the prompt will wait till you enter the response. Till you enter the response, it will wait. And these looping statements, conditional statements, arrays, functions, all are same how you studied in the other programming languages. And few students asked for the revision of all the lab programs. So what is jQuery? So jQuery, it is a lightweight and it has a rich JavaScript library. It has a rich JavaScript library, and jQuery provides easy to use APIs. jQuery is used to develop APIs and is used to achieve the following, that is manipulate HTML, CSS, DOM, handling HTML events, applying effects and animations, Ajax and utilities. So using this jQuery, you can do all this, and this jQuery is open source library. This jQuery is a open source library. Students, if you don't download the jQuery library file, then you cannot execute a jQuery program. You have to download a jQuery library file. Or if you are not able to download a jQuery file, you have to give a path of a jQuery library file. You have to give a path of a jQuery library file. And this is one of the most popularly used open source library. And developers can do with using this jQuery, the developers can develop many concepts. So developer can do more with lesser number of line of code compared with the vanilla JavaScript. So using this jQuery, you can develop you can execute many concepts with a less line of code. The popularity of jQuery in 2018, the jQuery used up to 73 millions of websites. So now many are using this jQuery. The history of jQuery. 1 minute, students. So this is the history of a jQuery. The jQuery is developed, um, or the jQuery is introduced in the year 2006. First, the first version of jQuery is in August 2006. The second version is January 2014. The third version is June 2016. The the recent version, that is 3.3.1, that is Jan 2018. So this jQuery is mainly used to develop a mobile mobile and touchscreen devices. See students. So this is how we give a path of a jQuery, the source of a jQuery. This is the Google and the sample usage of jQuery library of Google and Microsoft. And we have some of the principles to develop a jQuery. Separation of HTML and JavaScript. So jQuery library provide simple syntax for handling DOM or events. So jQuery provides, yes students, we have seen the programs. Yes, we have seen jQuery programs. No, did you feel difficult to execute jQuery programs? Yes students.
No, ma'am.
So the jQuery concepts are simple to handle concepts, and hence developer can avoid handling HTML event attributes to call a jQuery functions. By this way, JavaScript code can be completely separated from JavaScript code. Yes, you can see here students. See, whatever the jQuery programs we see, this is just this is a simple program to hide and display, to hide and show. See, the jQuery code is completely separated from HTML. Correct, no? Here we write a HTML code, and here there is no confusion. The meaning is there is no confusion. Here in the script tag, we write this jQuery, the path of the library, and the logic we have written here. And after this, we are in the body tag, we have written a jQuery HTML concept. So there is no confusion. So it is easy to understand. Elimination of cross-browser incompatibilities. So JavaScript engine of different browsers. So it allows us to execute a program with the different browsers. It is not that the program will be executed in only Internet Explorer or only in Mozilla Firefox or only in Chrome. It is not like that. So it is a cross-platform. You can execute a jQuery program in any of the browsers. Therefore, JavaScript code that works for one browser may not work for other browsers. But JavaScript code may not work in the other browser. In one browser, it may execute the program. In other browser, it may not. But it is not the case with the jQuery. The jQuery will help to execute in all the browser. jQuery handles all the cross-browser inconsistency and provides a consistent interface that work across different browsers. So with jQuery, it creates problems. Sometimes it creates problem to execute with a different browser. Whereas in JavaScript, students, in one browser it may give the output, in another browser it may not give the output. Whereas for jQuery, it will not create problem for any of the browsers. So if whatever the inconsistencies are there, it overcomes from the inconsistencies and it provides the output. Extensibility. New events, elements, and method can be easily added and then reused as a plugins. So new events, elements can be easily added in the jQuery program. Yes, syntax of usage of a jQuery. Yes, students, this is syntax. This dollar is nothing but a jQuery object. Yes, students, this dollar. Yes, students, whatever the doubts you have in jQuery, now only you ask. This dollar is nothing but a jQuery object. Here we write a selector. We write a selector dot action. What is the action? Yes, students, what are the actions? Show, hide, toggle, display. Yes, the action is nothing but the work. What work the program has to do? The program has to hide the content. The program has to display the content. The program has to toggle the button. Yes, we have seen in the program, no? So I told you, students, this div and dot abc means what? I shown you the difference between these students when using the paragraph tag. Do you remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Show and hide. Show and hide. When you when we are using this, then only that particular data will be hidden. When you are using a p tag, then the complete p tag will be hidden. So this takes action on the current element. Div takes action on all the divisions wherever the div you have used. So this is a selector. This is a simple selector. So wherever you have used a simple selector, everywhere this action will be applied. And dot abc class. So wherever you have used class selector, wherever you use this abc class selector, everywhere this action will be applied. This action will be applied. So this is a simple jQuery program. So dollar document dot ready function. So from here your JavaScript jQuery program will start, and here I'm not hiding anything, I'm not displaying anything, I'm not using any button, just a message that is welcome to jQuery, DOM is created. Welcome to jQuery and DOM is created. And here load function, window loaded. Window loaded. Yes, students, in jQuery program, you can also implement this margin value, the padding value. See here the heading, the margin, the header margin, and this is a div tag. This is a div tag margin, and this is a padding value. And see here, this is the unordered list menu. Unordered list menu. Yes, students, here we are appending a JavaScript with a CSS. We are appending JavaScript with CSS. See here. The unordered list class is menu, and the list item, the first list item is username, and this dot dot means you can include the other list items also, and this is the last item is logout. Okay, students, I'll stop here. Answer for your attendance. In the next lab instruction class, students, once again, I'll explain the programs. I'll explain all the programs. Today, I have covered most of the topics. Still, you want a revision for the internals and one or two. Next, one more class, I will do revision, and then I'll start with my regular syllabus. Okay, students, still if you have any doubt, any queries, if you have one more revision class I'll conduct. In that class, you can ask me questions. Answer your attendance. 1,
Yes, ma'am.
2,
Yes, ma'am.
3,
Yes, ma'am.
4,
Yes, ma'am.
5, 6,
Yes, ma'am.
7,
Present, ma'am.
8,
Yes, ma'am.
9,
Present, ma'am.
10,
Yes, ma'am.
11,
Yes, ma'am.
12,
Present, ma'am.
13,
Present, ma'am.
14,
Yes, ma'am.
15,
Yes, ma'am.
16, 16. Darshan. 17,
Present, ma'am.
18. Darshan is not there.
Yes, present, ma'am.
Darshan, present, ma'am.
Okay. 19.
Present, ma'am.
18 present.
Okay. 18, 19,
Present, ma'am.
20, 20, 20. Who's 20? Harshit. Harshit absent. 21,
Present, ma'am.
22,
Present.
23,
Present, ma'am.
24,
Yes, ma'am.
25,
Present, ma'am.
26,
Yes, ma'am.
27,
Present, ma'am.
28,
Present, ma'am.
29, 30,
Yes, ma'am.
31,
Present, ma'am.
32,
Present, ma'am.
33.
Present, ma'am.
Sharon, you want to say something? Sharon, because you raised your hand. Is it by mistake or you want to say something? Are you there?
Okay, left, ma'am.
You want to say anything? Okay, 33,
Present, ma'am.
34,
Present, ma'am.
35,
Yes, ma'am.
36,
Present, ma'am.
37,
Present, ma'am.
38,
Present, ma'am.
39,
Present, ma'am.
40,
Yes, ma'am.
41. Sai Kumar. 41, absent. 42,
Present, ma'am.
43,
Present, ma'am.
44,
Present, ma'am.
45, 46.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, 46,
Present. 46 present, ma'am.
47,
Present, ma'am.
48,
Present, ma'am.
49,
Present, ma'am.
50,
Present, ma'am.
51,
Present, ma'am.
52,
Present, ma'am.
53,
Present, ma'am.
54,
Present, ma'am.
55,
Present, ma'am.
56,
Present, ma'am.
57,
Present, ma'am.
58,
Present, ma'am.
59.
Present, ma'am.
What about 41? 41 is there?
Yeah, ma'am, is present.
Okay, students, I'll stop here. See you in the next class.